Good morning, everyone. This is G. Narsimlu, Associate Professor, Department of Physics, St. Peter's Engineering College, Hyderabad. Today we have the class over the full wave rectifiers. In last video lecture, we discussed about the wave rectifiers. In that, we derived some parameters related to this analysis of wave rectifier, like that how to get the DC voltage and DC current and form factor, ripple factor, and transformer utility factor, and efficiency of the rectification, percentage of regulation. All these parameters we discussed and derived in the last class. In this lecture also, we have to be know about this one, how the constructional view of the full wave rectifiers and what are the different types of full wave rectifiers. And then we have to move about this one functionality of this full wave rectifier, that is called working principle of the full wave rectifier. Then again we'll discuss some parameters of the full wave rectifier. Finally, we are going to be compared with the full wave rectifier and off wave rectifier, so that we can finally understand that one, which one is good and which one is not good. Then this one is a first type of the full wave rectifier. It is the center tapped full wave rectifier. Center tapped mean which is having one wire is taking at the center of the secondary uh, winding of the transformer. This tap is going to be dividing the secondary winding equally, so it induces the voltage of the secondary winding equally, like that one upper part is induces the same amount of voltage it was inducing by the lower part. Here number of turns which are present in the upper part of the secondary is equal to the number of turns which are presenting in the lower part of the secondary. Then you should be understand the representation of m and n. You have to be keep it to remind this one. Then we have to be talk more about this m and n. And you should be understand in the full wave rectifiers, it includes more than two diodes, and more than one diode you are going to be using. Okay, in the center tap full wave rectifier, it is using this two diodes which are originating like this, and when diode 1 conducts, I1 is going to be existing. When D2 conducts, then I2 is going to be existing. The voltage whatever is going to be induced across this prime secondary winding of the part 1 is Vm. The second part of the secondary winding also going to be uh, induces the same amount of voltage, but it is having the polarities different. Then we'll move to that one, how these diodes are going to be conduct. When diode D1 is forward bias, basically when you have the AC input, that AC input having the positive of cycle and negative of cycle. When you have the input is positive of cycle, diode D1 is going to become forward bias. Why? Because the point M having a positive with respect to point N. So diode D2 will become reverse bias and diode D1 will become forward bias. When diode D1 will become forward bias, I1 is going to be existing. At the time when diode was reverse biased, so there is no current is passing through this load. So the current is going to be passing through the load resistor is like this. Here it is coming like this in this direction. The current is going to be a flow like this. So you can have the some voltage drop across the load resistor, which is going to be representing the wave like this. It means when you have the input signal is having the positive of cycle, diode 1 is going to be conducting. Resultantly we can have the closed loop by including the load resistor, so it can have the some current through that loop, that is I1. The I1 is going to be uh, passing through the load resistor. Resultantly you will get the output voltage, that is called the output voltage corresponding to the positive of cycle. Once you see this one, you can be understand this is the positive of cycle and this one is the positive of cycle. This is going to be representing the output waveform of your rectifier when the positive of cycle, and this gap you can be understand it is corresponding to the negative of cycle. There is no voltage is there at the output of this one. Okay, uh, because diode 1 corresponding output wave from this one. Next one, when diode 2 is forward biased, when it happens mean when you have the input voltage or input waveform having the negative of cycle, then M will become a negative with respect to N. N point will become more positive compared to the M. So that when diode D2 will become forward bias, it will provide the closed loop like this. So which is going to be passing the current is I2 through the RL, so some voltage is going to be dropped across this one. This is the waveform is representing the output waveform corresponding to the negative off cycle of your full wave rectifier center tap. It means that both currents are passing through this RL. Here the I1 is going to be passing through the RL, I2 is going to be passing through the RL. But I1 is going to be existing when you have the input voltage is positive of cycle. I2 is going to be existing when input voltage is negative of cycle. Both the having the current passing through the RL. So you can be understand the voltage is going to be dropped across this RL for the positive of cycle as well as the negative of cycle. But both things are not going to be existing at the same time. Means I1 when it is existing, I2 is going to become 0. When I2 is existing, I1 will become 0. Why? Because D1 D2 which are not conducting at a time. D1 when conducts, D2 will become off. D2 when conducts, D1 will become off. So you have to be understand like this. Then this is one is the input waveform of the center tap full wave rectifier. You could understand that when Vm is the maximum voltage, that is a positive peak voltage of the input waveform, and minus Vm is a negative peak voltage of the input waveform. This is the output of the positive off cycle of the input. At the time when you have the input is the positive off cycle for the center tap full wave rectifier, the D1 only going to be conduct. What about the D2? D2 is switched off because it is going to become a reversed bias. It acts like a open circuit and there is no current passing through the diode D2 because due to that one I2 is equal to the 0, so there is no voltage corresponding to the I2. Only we can have the voltage corresponding to the I1. This one is corresponding to the D1. We have the here next one in the negative of cycle of the input, D1 will become off and D2 will become on, so that you can have the voltage across the load resistor due to the current passing through that it is the I2. So the resultant voltage is like this. Okay, these are the things you can understand here. D2 we can have the phase reversal of the output voltage. It's not exactly following the same as the input was a negative of cycle, but you are going to be get that output is a positive of cycle in the duration of negative of cycle of the input at that time. You should be understand this one is the input corresponding to the negative of cycle. For that you will get the output is positive of cycle at the time D2 is going to be conduct, that is phase reversal is going to be happening by clubbing the outputs corresponding to the D1 conduction and D2 conduction. You will get resultant output is like this. Here corresponding to this D1 D2, it means it is for positive then negative, positive and negative like this. This is representing the total output across the load resistor. Some parameters related to center tap rectifier. Here we have the IDC. It is a DC current which is passing through the load resistor. It is equal to the 2 Im by pi. Because in the off-way rectifier, it was written like that one Im by pi. Because in positive of cycle only you can have the current passing through the load resistor. So that it was derived finally like that one Im by pi. But in the full wave rectifier we can have the current through the load resistor Okay, due to the conduction of the diode 1 as well as the diode 2, so that by having the derivation, finally you will get this equation, that is id is equal to Im by pi. Next, vdc of the half-wave rectifier is Vm by pi, but here now it is 2 Vm by pi, like you know that one, it is conducting two diodes. And irms is the root mean square current of your half wave rectifier was Im by 2 only, but in the full wave rectifier it is Im by root 2. It is RF is nothing but ripple factors here under square root of IRMS square divided by IDC minus 1. Then you substitute IRMS IDC corresponding to the full wave rectifier center tapped. Okay, full wave rectifier, you can substitute this one. Then finally you will get it is equal to the numerically 0.48, and multiplying 100 you will get it is 48%. That is a ripple factor. And you can also understand that one, here the relation between these currents and voltages, like you know that one, in previously also we discussed all these things in of full wave off wave rectifier, we discussed these things clearly. Yeah, just to observe here what I discussed. Yeah, IDC is equal to Im by pi. Now it is becoming to Im by pi corresponding to the full wave rectifier. This IDC also can be write like this, no, Vm by pi Ra plus Rs by Rs RL, but it will become 2 Vm by pi Ra plus Rs plus RL. Then we have to be make it to expand like this. Then you can understand what I mean to say. Yeah, just to go through this once again. See. This IDC is going to be equal to 2m to Im by pi, but there was a IDC is equal Im by pi. Once you can see this one, you can understand what I mean to say. Yeah, IDC Im by pi. Now you are replacing this one with a IDC is equal to Im by pi. Then you can understand it is RS is a series resistor by 2. Okay, now IDC is equal to Vm by pi, you can be right here. And Vm by pi is equal to Vm by pi. Then how to be write this voltage regulation? Just you have to be applied the same formula what we have taken corresponding to the voltage regulation, like you know that one, VDC no load minus VDC full load divided by VDC full load, that is voltage regulation up. You have to be substitute VDC no load, VDC full load, all these things. Okay, right. This you have to be note like this, VDC full load and VDC no load, same thing you have to be apply here, so that you can be understand what I mean to say. Then you have to be write the equation here, what is the percentage of voltage regulation for the full wave center trap rectifier, and what is the regulation efficiency? It is the power delivered to the load, ratio between the power delivered to the load to the power giving input to the circuitry, that is PDC divided by PAC. DC is nothing but output, PAC is nothing but power at input side. You can be write this one IDC square by IRMS square. Okay, P is equal I square R, you can be understand that is RR gets cancelled, so that you can be write this IDC square by IRMS square. Corresponding to PDC you can be write IDC square R, PAC you can be write IRMS square into R. RR gets cancelled, remaining term is IDC square divided by IRMS square. Then you can be substitute IDC is equal to Im by pi whole square, and IRMS square is nothing but Im by root whole square. Then you can going to be get the cancel of Im, and you are going to be having final resultant parameter is 8 by pi square. Then finally we will get it as percentage of regulation efficiency is 81.2. It means that when you have the 100% input, you will get the 81.2 percentage of the input is going to become regulated. But In the off wave rectifier, it's not like that. It is very smaller. It is less than 50%, I think. When you go through the comparison between this off wave and full wave, then you can be understand what are the disadvantages. You can understand this one. The location of the center tapping is difficult. It means that the center tapping you have to be keep in the secondary. Then you have to be make ensure that when the windings, upper windings and lower windings are equal, and these need to be induced in the same amount of voltage. If you not keep properly the center tapping, so that resultant voltage induced in the secondary windings are going to be differ. It is impact over this rectification process, and DC output voltage is very small for this center tapping, and peak inverse voltage is very high. It is equal to the 2 Vm in this center tapping. These difficulties, these problems can be overcome in the bridge rectifier. This is a bridge rectifier. Then you can be understand that one. It is also having the transformer. It is forming the bridge like by using the four diodes which are connected like this D1 D3, which are orienting like this. D2 D3 is going to become oriented like this. Here RL is the load resistor. You are going to be drawing the output voltage across the RL. You should be remember point P and point Q. Point P will become positive when having the positive of cycle is applying for the input of this, and Q will become positive when you have the input of rectified is a negative of cycle. Now let us look into this how it is works. See, when the positive of cycle of the input supply, then what happen? Among four diodes, which diode is going to become conduct? Just you have to understand D3, D1 is going to be conduct. Now, how to understand some current is going to be passing like this through the load resistor to the D3, then secondary winding again goes to the D1, finally it reaches to the ground, something like that. So this is the way how the current is going to be flowing through the circuitry to complete the loop, and while generating the voltage across the RL. In the negative of cycle of the input, you have to be understand the loop is going to be formed like this. A current is passing like this D4, and then secondary, then it is going to be D2, then it is finally reaches to the ground. It is flow of the current and forming the loop. Then it is going to be provide the voltage across the RL even for the negative of cycle also. Waveform forms a good bridge rectifier. For the positive of cycle, what happening? D1, D3 is going to become forward bias. For negative of cycle, D2, you see this one. For the positive of cycle, D1, D3 will become forward bias, and for the negative of cycle, D4, D2 will become forward bias like this. Just you have to be understand it is uh, you see this one is corresponding to this for the positive of cycle. Here the positive of cycle D1 D3 are going to be conduct. Due to this one, you can have the loop and the conduction of these two diodes will have some current through that loop, uh, uh, through the load resistor also, so that some voltage is going to be drop across that load resistor. And corresponding to the negative of cycle, yeah, you can be understand D2 D4 are going to be conduct and providing the loop, then voltage is going to be drop across the resistor. That voltage you are going to be representing here by clubbing these two. Why you should be club these two? It means that the current is passing through the diodes as well as the same load resistor, so the voltage is dropping up across the load resistor are going to be some, and finally you can have the output voltage is like this. It means this is the opposite of cycle, while mm, conducting D1 D3, and this is a cycle corresponding to conducting D2 and D4, something like that alternatively. What are the advantages of a bridge rectifier compared with the center tapped full wave rectifier? In the bridge rectifier, no need of center tapping. It means that there is no such extra exercise to keep that center tapping and getting some problems, and if you're not keeping center tapping properly, okay, to divide the input voltage equally for the secondary windings, and DC output voltage is twice of that center tap full wave rectifier. DC output voltage was very less in the center tapped full wave rectifier, but here you can have the improvement of the DC output voltage. And peak inverse voltage of the center tapped rectifier, it is 2 V max. Now it is going to become VM only. It is off of that center tapped rectifier peak inverse voltages. The design of the circuit is easier and can provide the better output by using this bridge rectifier compared with the center tap. You can understand this. This is finally you can have the output. You can also know this one. Here some parameters. IDC already we discussed for the center tap. IDC is equal to Im by pi, and VDC is equal to Vm by pi. IRMS Im by root 2, VRMS Vm by root 2. A ripple factor is of 48%, and efficiency of the regulation 81.2% for the center tap. Some other parameters you have to be write the equation corresponding to this, already we discussed, and this is a transformer utility factor, and this one is a peak inverse voltage, and we have the comparison of a rectifier, center tapped full wave rectifier, and bridge rectifier. Number of diodes present in the of a rectifier, only one. In center tapped, 2 you are using. In bridge rectifier, 4. Transformer tapping. Are you tapping a transformer? Like you know that one center tapping is taking place in the of a rectifier? No. A center tapped full wave rectifier, yes, we are doing the tapping at the center of secondary. But did you having any tapping in the bridge wave rectifier? No. Peak inverse voltage for the half wave rectifier VM, the center tapped full wave rectifier 2 VM, the bridge rectifier is VM only. Maximum efficiency, it is 40.6%. It's very poor efficiency, so there is no use of a rectifier for the rectification purpose. But center tapped having the 81.2% is same as bridge rectifier. Average DC current, you can be say that one, that is the DC current or average current. Im by pi of a rectifier, 2 Im by pi for the center tapped, and bridge rectifier is also 2 Im by pi. DC voltage, or else you can be say average voltage, Vm by pi, 2 Vm by pi, 2 Vm by pi. RMS current, Im by root 2, sorry, Im by 2 and Im by root 2, Im by root 2. A ripple factor, it is a 1.21, it is a 0.48, it is part. Your ripple factor should be minimum. Your ripple factor is more in the upper rectifier. Your ripple factor is very small in the center tap and bridge rectifier. Already I told you know that one ripple in the sense unwanted AC signal present in the converted DC current, that is called the ripple factor. If there is no ripples, mean you can understand that one conversion is good and conversion efficiency is good. That's what I mean to say. Output frequency F in, 2F in, and 2F in means it depends upon the cycles which are allowing to provide the output signal. This is end of the class. We have to understand how the full wave rectifier and off wave rectifier is working. Thank you one and all.